Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. You know, over the last couple of days, we've been talking about Jay-Z and these serious, I'm going to call them grape allegations because I think YouTube kind of scans for that type of stuff and the sensitivities, allegations against Jay-Z and Diddy, honestly. So there's been a new development today on Friday night, December 13th. NBC News interviewed the accuser, the Jane Doe, the woman who says she was assaulted, and found some inconsistencies. And her lawyer, Tony Busby, said that he's continuing to vet her story. And so, I just kind of want to go through it with y'all. It starts to beg the question, though, and Jay issued a statement and his lawyer issued a statement. We'll get to that. But it begs the question, Busby says that he's continuing to vet the story. At what point do you file a suit as a lawyer? Like, where's the responsibility for the lawyer? There should be a thorough vetting process before you even file a suit. First it was Diddy. If you remember, first the suit was filed against Diddy, and there was a celebrity A and a celebrity B. Celebrity A was male, celebrity B was female, and they were unnamed, right? And then a letter was sent to Jay saying, hey, in this paperwork, you're celebrity A, and it was a demand letter from Busby and saying, hey, we request a mediation with you. And Jay didn't do the mediation, and Jay launched a countersuit anonymously against Busby. And then on Sunday, this thing opened up, and NBC News did a report, and Jay's name is in the headline, and he's accused of this sexual assault alongside Diddy. First, just let's take the Diddy thing. Even though his name is already sullied with the charges that he's up against and the fight that he has to face. And I've said this about Diddy. I don't know if Diddy did everything that they're accusing him of or to the depth of what they're accusing him of, but we saw the Cassie video. So, I think there are some things that Diddy will have to answer for, right? And that's bad enough. But even Diddy, who already has his name sullied in all of this, if you didn't proper vet this, like, why even the lawsuit against Diddy? Like, why pile on? You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't properly do the work. But Diddy's name is already soiled. Jay's name hadn't come up. So again, the lawyer says, hey, we're still continuing to vet this story, but at what point do you feel confident enough to take this out to the press and put somebody's name in it? Jay-Z, whose name wasn't in it. He refiled the suit to put Jay's name in it. How much responsibility as a lawyer do you have to vet this? Because once the headline is out there, even if you found innocent, even if you clear your name, once the headline is out there, there's a considerable amount of damage done, because we know the court of public opinion, a lot of this gets tried in the press. And I want to talk about Jay's original statement too, which a lot of people didn't like. In Jay's original statement, he didn't really go after the victim. He didn't really blame the victim, and people were mad because he said, I didn't do it. Jay, which he said in his filing, he vehemently denied it. Like, it's there in black and white. But Jay's venom in his first statement was for the lawyer. And I think a lot of this is like, well, what responsibility does the lawyer have in this case? So, but let's get to the inconsistency. So inconsistency one is Jane Doe said in the lawsuit, and you know what? Wait. Before I even go any further, shout out to all the journalists. I just want to shout out on this NBC News article, which I'm going to put the link in the description, Chloe Melas, Janelle Griffin, and Mati Amoyebeta. I pray I pronounce your names correctly, but this is the byline on this NBC News story, and they deserve to be shouted out for their work. Inconsistency number one. Jane Doe said in the lawsuit, in the paperwork, it's in there, and she reiterated to NBC News that, during her interview, which took place this week, that her father picked her up from a gas station which she fled to after the alleged attack. So she left the house where she was attacked and ran to a gas station, and her father picked her up from the gas station. Her father says he has no recollection of that. And I'll read some from the article. It says, afterward, this is the Jane Doe. Afterward, she said in the suit, she managed to flee the house and ran to a gas station. I was upset, and the person at the gas station could tell I was obviously upset, and she let me use the phone. I called my dad because he was the only person I trust at that time. I told him I messed up and I needed a ride home, she told NBC News. We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was. She told NBC News she never told anyone about the alleged assault or wrote it down in a diary. And then she says, even if somebody found out, who was going to believe me? I mean, it was to the word of two celebrities against mine, she said. So that was her recollection. Again, it said in the lawsuit. Within her interview, she doubled down on that recollection. Here's the father. Her father told NBC News. So what happens is NBC News interviewed Jane Doe first and then interviewed her father to see if the stories match up. Her father told NBC News that he does not recall picking her up after the alleged attack, casting doubt on a key detail in her lawsuit. According to their address at the time, her father would have driven more than 5 hours from their home to pick her up. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said in an interview on Thursday. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind. The woman's father, who said he learned of the alleged assault this week, added that he did remember once picking her up in the middle of the night, but he said it was a local drive. Asked about her father's account in a follow-up interview on Friday, so they interviewed her first, interviewed her father on Thursday, and then said, hey, something doesn't match up. Can we speak to you again? So they interviewed her again today. Asked about her father's account in a follow-up interview on Friday, the woman said she stood by her claim that he had picked her up and that it's possible he had misremembered. There are a lot of things, and this is stuff that we argue about constantly. Something he said or did back in New York around that time period, he just doesn't remember. She said it actually causes a lot of fights sometimes in the household. Now, regarding her father's recollections, Busby, now this is Jane Doe's lawyer, says, we agree he states he doesn't remember. His daughter explains that he was in no state to remember during that point in time due to personal issues he was having then. We are talking about a time frame more than 20 years ago. So, I mean, it could be, look, I have, it could be a number of things. It could be a substance abuse, Alzheimer's, dementia, like all kind of types of things. I don't want to speculate or cast anything on her father, but yeah, after 20 years, somebody could really misremember something. But unless you have a serious problem, driving a 5-hour drive in the middle of the night to pick up your 13-year-old daughter. I mean, I'm a parent. I would remember something like that. You know what I'm saying? My dad has had to drive me in the middle of the night, hours, to pick me up from places. He remembers something like that. But maybe something is off here. And it's also 20 years ago. Who could remember, things get fuzzy. That also holds true for the victim, right? But let's go on. Now, here's another inconsistency. She also told NBC News that while she was at the after party, so this is before the attack, and presumably before, because she also said she was at the party, she was mingling with celebrities. She took a drink from the waitress, felt woozy, went upstairs into the room to lay down, didn't lock the door, and that's when the attack happened. So before the attack, presumably before she took the drink, she said that she spoke with Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit and Benji Madden from the band Good Charlotte, and she called out that Benji Madden had a Last Supper tattoo and that she spoke with him about that specific tat. She's telling this to NBC News. So she's recalling this. She's saying, yeah, I spoke to Benji Madden. She said she was a religious person and she spoke to him about his Last Supper tattoo. This is in her NBC News interview. That wasn't in the lawsuit filing. But she told NBC News this earlier this week. So NBC News reaches out to Benji Madden. So they say, but a representative for Madden confirmed that neither Benji nor his brother Joel attended the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. The woman did not accuse the brothers of any wrongdoing. It's important to note. But she says she spoke to Benji Madden, was very specific about his tattoo and said she spoke to him about the tattoo. And turns out they were on tour at the time. They weren't even in New York. They were in the Midwest. It's a key inconsistency. She says, honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me and the route that I took to what happened to me. Not all the faces there are as clear, the woman said in a Friday follow-up interview. So again, they interviewed her early in the week, reached out to Madden. Oh, there's an inconsistency. And they did the journalism thing and reached back out. Hey, your story doesn't add up. So she says, honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me and the route that I took to what happened to me. Not all of the faces there are as clear, the woman said in the Friday follow-up interview. So I've made some mistakes. I may have made a mistake in identifying. That's a key inconsistency. Again, I mean, she was very specific about Benji Madden and the tattoo. Now she made a mistake. Even if this attack happened, can you confirm who it was that did it? Can you confirm that it was Jay, Diddy? Can you confirm? It starts to get fuzzy. The woman also cannot provide further information about the after party she says she attended. The woman said, Jane Doe said that the assault happened at an after party, a VMA after party that a limo driver drove her to, in a gated white house with a U-shaped driveway. And so, not many of those, if any, exist like in Manhattan, in the city. I mean, it could be up north, like Westchester, it could be Jersey, I don't know if very many of those exist in the city, but a gated white house with a U-shaped driveway. It's unclear now if Jay attended multiple after parties that night, because, you party hop, it happens, but he was absolutely at one. And so this is what the article says. It says professional images reviewed by NBC News shows Combs and Carter were among the celebrities who attended a VMA's after party at Lotus nightclub in New York City. It is not clear what time those images were taken or if Combs and Carter attended any other after parties. The building that housed Lotus, now closed, does not match the description of the house the woman described in the lawsuit and an interview. She says, I didn't know exactly where we were going or even how long it took, the woman said when asked Tuesday when she thought she was taken to that night. She added that she had guessed about the length of time of the trip and had taken in the lawsuit. So in the lawsuit, she said it took 20 minutes from where the limo driver picked her up to where he dropped them off. And now she's saying she guessed, which that, is a more human thing. I could see it happen. Like, you recall a 20-minute trip, but maybe it was a half hour. Like, who knows? And then Busby says, we have attempted to confirm the correct location. We have never suggested the location was at Lotus Club. Our client has been very specific in detail about the description of the venue she says she was taken to, and she has never stated it was the Lotus Club, which is fine. Okay. He said, we won't speculate on whether there was an after party because, again, she doesn't know that. So there's serious holes in this story overall. Busby says that he's continuing to vet her claims, though. So this is the part where I'm like, this gets us responsible, right? Here's what he says. He says, Jane Doe's case was referred to our firm by another who vetted it prior to sending it to us, he told NBC News in the email. Our client remains fiercely adamant that what she has stated is true to the best of her memory. We will continue to vet her claims and collect corroborating data to the extent it exists because we have interrogated her intensely. She has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. I've never had a client suggest that before. In any event, he added, we always do our best to vet each claim made, just as we did in this case. This has been extremely distressing for her to the point that she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to stress. I hope she's okay. I don't know how the stress that is relevant to this though, right? Like the thing is did you vet this? Like at what point? He even says it was referred to our firm by another. They vetted it. So, and then they interrogated her intensely. But what is the work at your firm that has to be done before something meets the level that, okay, we're going to file a suit? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were mad at Jay again because he didn't really address the victim or the claim. He really went at the lawyer. I want to get to Jay's new statement. He says, today's investigative report proves this attorney, in quotation marks, this attorney Busby filed a false complaint against me in pursuit of money and fame. This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. And he signed this one, Sean Carter. His attorney, Alex Spiro, said, it is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without proper vetting, but will make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press. We are asking the court to dismiss this frivolous case today, and we will take up the matter of additional discipline for Mr. Busby and all the lawyers that filed the complaint. So that's where we're at with it, man. It's pretty this thing really kind of, took a turn. We'll still see, man. And again, I'm very sensitive to victims who come out years later. You may remember things the wrong way. Things may be foggy. Certain details you may have blocked out or may be hazy in your mind. I can understand how that is a natural thing. And this woman seems to have gone through some type of trauma. Her and her father said that she had been raped before, like another incident, not this, of course she's saying this incident happened too, but her and her father both confirmed that at another point in her life she had been assaulted. So this woman has clearly gone through some things. So, but where does the responsibility lie? And it says a lot about the attorney. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see what the court decides from there. But the question is, though, if the attorney, if Busby didn't fully vet this, right? What was the motivation? Jay is saying it's blackmail. He's saying it was an extortionist plot, saying that they were trying to get money. It seems to me that Busby and his firm probably didn't think it would get this far. They probably thought Celebrity A, when Jay was just known as Celebrity A, that he settled to make it go away because the damage of this headline, it was easier to pay it off than to have this damaging headline out there. Then it begs the question of who Celebrity B is. And in other cases like this, people who pay just to have it go away versus people who actually did something wrong, and we don't know. But it seems like this is unraveling so quickly. It just seems to me that Busby, like, they didn't intend for it to go this far. That they thought that Jay would give into the demand letter, do the private mediation, and it wouldn't go this far. So they didn't shore up their story. He either didn't vet the story, or if he knew that the story was inconsistent, they didn't do enough to plug up the holes because they didn't think it would get this far. But those are just my thoughts. Y'all can hit me in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think. Appreciate all y'all, even the ones who don't agree with me. We can have respectful discussion about this. So just let me know what y'all think, man. And to the next one, all right? Peace.